They're special. There's no doubt about it. I spent this past week, Kyle, here in Los Angeles at the Rose Bowl coaching in the NFLPA Bowl game. Our defensive coordinator was Rod Whitson, Hall of Famer, great Hall of Famer that played with the Steelers. Also on that staff was Cornell Lake, one of the great Pittsburgh Steelers of all time. And the list goes on and on. I won't bore you with all the guys that were there. But I asked them, I said, listen, we're looking at the Rams, and every time we look around, Cooper Kupp is wide open and running away from people, and he ran a full 640. How can that be? And to a man, every one of those guys said, this is a unique person relative to understanding how to get open, understanding what you're trying to do to him, and having a great relationship with a quarterback that does that. You know, it's as simple as that in their minds, and the simplicity of it all was what made me see how much they respected it. Sure. Some of the great ones of all time think that this is one of the most dynamic duos that they've ever seen.
And let me ask you this, hypothetically speaking, if the Rams do not come through today, cannot beat this 49ers team, and cannot get to the Super Bowl, does that again change the narrative with Matthew Stafford that he couldn't win the big game? And what will that say about this move for Jared Goff to go out there and get Matthew Stafford to come in here, because he was the guy that Sean McVay needed. He needed that piece to get to the Super Bowl. Is this season a failure if this is not a win today?
It doesn't erase all the great things that he brought to this team. Kyle, everybody believes in his work ethic. I mean, what he's meant to this team goes beyond one game or maybe not making it to the Super Bowl game. I mean, this is a commitment. This is more than 1 year. And I think that this team will respond with this quarterback. And they'll give everything they have. That's what you want. You want to see it's 11 against 11. To my 11, can they outperform that 11 right there? If this guy's at the helm, yeah, we feel good about our chances. So that's basically what it boils down to, Kyle, and that's why they got him here.
You know, Kyle, if you go back and you look over the years, at least starting in 1976, what you will see is a history, a deep and steep history on the Rams' part of bringing in quarterbacks who are long past their usefulness. Go out and get these guys that have had some success, that have had good careers, Pro Bowlers, and they bring them to the Rams and they're on their last leg. I played with 21 different quarterbacks, and many of those guys, they weren't like Vince when he started off. Many of these guys were long past, their usefulness. But in all of those guys that they brought in that I've been fortunate enough to play with and watch, Matthew Stafford has been a way more productive football player than any of them.
That being said, we've said all season it was Super Bowl or bust for the Rams. So, Jackie, is it a bust?
No, it's not a bust.
It's not a win today.
It's not a bust at all. I mean, this is a young football team and a growing football team in a lot of areas. The coach in particular, and they're just going to get better and better as years. The noise that we hear in the stadium, if you can't separate it from the teams, whether it's the 49ers.
See, that's the problem, Jackie.
But eventually, with this group, with this coaching staff, that's going to change. Watch what I tell you.
This is a problem, okay?
That's right. You just heard it.
This is a problem. If you're listening, if you're watching at home, and you've just heard the massive crowd roar, you may have thought the Rams players had run out on. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo on the field getting ready for the championship game later today between the 49ers and the Rams. We're about 35 minutes away from kickoff. And, guys, we've got about a minute left in our pregame show before we send it over to the network guys who are sitting right next door to us. So I want to know this. And, Jackie, I know you need a minute to think about it. So, Vince, I'll start with you. Tell me what's going to happen in today's game.
Oh,
Give me a
man, I tell you, Kyle, you put me on the spot here. I'm telling you, all my Ram fans out there, and, I think wishful thinking, I would have to say the Rams 30-27 over the Niners, but this is going to be it could go the other way as well. But
okay,
I'm gonna say
no waffling.
Okay, I'll
Rams
say the
31-27. Jack.
Yeah. The Rams are going to win the ball game. They might beat them by 14 points, and after the ball game, we're going to have either A'Shawn Robinson, Greg Gaines, or Troy Reeder as our special guest. Those guys got to show up big.
What's wrong with Matthew Stafford?
Possibly 2 touchdowns. It could be 14 points. You know what? I'm gonna make it a trifecta. I think the same thing. I really feel Despite what we've seen this season, I just don't think that who we just saw there, Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think the Niners are going to get enough out of him to make the difference today. I think this is a game in which Matthew Stafford shines again, and Cooper Kupp, and I think they win handily. I do. I'm going to guess at least 7 points.
He's an Italian quarterback. Don't forget that, Kyle. Anything's possible.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking about this game with you. And why don't we make our way up to the press box?
To the press box.
Get some food and we'll enjoy the game.
Absolutely.
And be sure to stay with us right here on Fox 11 because, of course, you can enjoy the network pregame show followed by the NFC Championship game. Enjoy the game, everybody, and remember, as soon as it's over,
Food and
Jack,
football. Food and football. Let's go.
Ron and I will all be back with your sports wrap. See you later.